Welcome back. You're watching Holy Land Uncovered. I'm Emily Francis. I'm honored to present our next guest in our New York studio, Rabbi Daniel Bortz, known as the Millennial Rabbi, who, according to the BBC, is one of the most influential spiritual leaders in social media. He's also the founder of J-Teen, which is an organization in San Diego, which offers assistance to youth. Hello and welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I was just recently in San Diego. I didn't call you on speed dial, but I love everything that you're doing and how you're able to really reach the younger generation of Jewish people growing up all over the world, but namely in the States. What is the secret ingredient to speak their language?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I grew up, I wasn't always religious myself, and I grew up in Southern California, maybe that helps. But it's just being, the language of acceptance and love, I think goes a long way. Not about how cool you are necessarily, but it doesn't hurt that I know kind of everything that they're into. But just it doesn't hurt. But yeah.
So that said,
I think it's just about being relatable.
Right. Sorry about that. It's hard with the delay. Let's talk a little bit about how how do you go about taking something so complex and create it in a way that's kind of bite-sized while it resonates, but also makes the next generation kind of more interested in tapping into our Jewish heritage and history that may not otherwise have been the case?
We have so much going on with social media and like really short attention spans, which I also have a bit of a short attention span, so I can relate. And for me, I would always listen to hours-long lectures, and I would take away like one kernel. What was the essence of what was trying to be said? So for me, I find it very easy to just give over like the most powerful, deep stuff that I can find, and at the same time, not make it too long or too out of touch. Make it really short and use a parable or a story and to really give it over in an easy way. So I think in this generation, we need to take really powerful, deep stuff, not the stuff that's kind of on the external side, but then also bring it down in the most relatable, practical way possible. So it's like pulling from both ends.
Wow, fantastic. And it takes such a skill to be able to pull it off. And from the people that you've influenced and affected, are you starting to see, a change in a positive direction that, I imagine you have goals of continuing to reach more young people?
Yeah, with youth, it's different. It's like planting a seed and watering it. Like you might not see immediately the outcomes of what you do. You hope over time that, in the future, it's definitely making an impact. And then, with the social media side, it's a beautiful thing. I get messages from around the world, from cities where people don't have a rabbi or a synagogue, and they're able to have almost like this virtual source of Judaism and questions they can ask. So there I see clearly the effects. And with the youth, I get little examples of it, thank God, but it's more just trying to do my best.
Well, and I guess a retweet is right there. You've impacted someone, even if someone retweets.
True. Yeah, you have no idea. We really have no idea the impact of little things we do in our daily lives, for sure.
Let's talk about Tisha B'av. We know this is considered the most negative day of the Jewish calendar. I mean, if you read all the different sources, you can just there's a laundry list of horrible tragedies that have happened, throughout history, not just the destruction of the temples. So in your teachings, how do you kind of apply, the somberness of this day to kind of help your viewers, the people that you influence, kind of be able to transform and overcome any hurt, pain, negativity in their lives?
Great way of putting it, because everything we learn in Judaism and in history is also applying to our personal lives. I think it's a matter of getting away from the external side. Like, okay, a building in Jerusalem was burnt and destroyed. We mourn that, but it's not that. It's going to the essence of what we're really mourning on Tisha B'av, and it's the divine consciousness and clarity that we had in the times of the temple. It was what the temple represented. It was the miracles and the consciousness and the prophecy, and that time was a time where there was a divine consciousness that existed that right now we miss that. We yearn for that revelation of God in our lives. Because a lot of the evil and bad that we see is just from a lack of that divine consciousness and humans against humans. That was a time in King Solomon's time was a time when peace reigned. So I think we got to go back to like the source of what we're really mourning, and that makes it much more relatable to our daily lives. How can we gain that consciousness in our lives? How can we make ourselves into a temple that God wants to dwell in, right? Because in Hebrew it says, "V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham." God says, make me a temple, yes, so that I can dwell in you. God wanted to dwell in each of us and still wants. So making our lives and our bodies and our world into a place that God wants to call his home.
Right. And also, by, acting as if we are the creator, we're helping to, bring light into others. So I imagine you have a big goal of even the next 20 years from now, the people you're influencing, making Judaism also more relevant so it really doesn't get lost, especially in a place like America in which, we're all very assimilated and America's so large.
Big time, absolutely. We got to compete with all the other things out there. Friends my age and people are going to music festivals, they're going to their yoga, we need to show the beautiful power and wisdom that is within our tradition and really, bring it in package it in a way that is exciting for our generation, no doubt.
Right, and making it, interesting even, for young kids going through Hebrew school. You see a change even in the case of when I was in Hebrew school. I mean, now if you're giving people a reason to want to learn, that's everything rather than necessarily being talked at and lectured all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. The stories that I hear about, I never understood it because you hear the Larry David Jerry Seinfeld Judaism, bagels and lox, and kind of going to Hebrew school on Sunday, and it's this nightmare. I kind of chose this path. I left UC Santa Barbara, a party college on the beach, to go to Jerusalem and study with these black hats and black jackets. I chose that because I saw the beauty that was in it. So for me, it's a little harder to relate to that vibe in America sometimes of oh God, I gotta but I do get it. I of course do get it where that's coming from too.
Well, fantastic. You're doing a great job and you're such a great messenger of such profound information. Keep up the good work and come visit us when you're in Israel next.
I hope to.
Thank you.